Welcome to the Strong Side Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie Joseph, and we're here today with my friend, Joe Lighthall. Joe, welcome to the podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
Big time. So could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm from California, just the Central Valley. It's like in between San Francisco, Yosemite, Fresno, and Sacramento. Just like that little square right there is where I'm at.
Swag.
And I just got back from my mission in Japan like a month ago, like a month and 4 days ago.
Welcome home.
Yeah, and it's been really exciting to get back. Getting all like the spiritual routines down, back into the track grind of things. I'm on the BYU track team, and I'm more on the distance side, so I'll be doing a lot of like miles every week. This week I'm gonna do like 18, and I'm gonna work up to like 40 by the time the school year starts. And running with the guys on the team who are all just super fit has been like a little bit of a struggle because I'm like tempoing just so hard, trying to keep up with them just on their easy run. They're all not even breathing, and that's something that about coming back from the mission has been a little difficult, but I think it's a worthy sacrifice, going out there and not running for 2 years, or at least not focusing on running for 2 years. And so it's been fun to get back into things and set up my life for what it should look like and set up those structures.
Way cool, way cool. So what was growing up in California like?
I kind of moved all around. Like I lived up until I was 12, I lived in Southern California, and then I moved to very Northern California for like 2 years. And then there was actually like a fire in my hometown.
Holy moly.
I don't know if you heard about Paradise, California.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lived in Paradise, and then we moved down to Central California, and then I lived in Houston with no T, Houston, California. Because everyone always says Houston, and I'm like, no. It's a very small town, surrounded by almond orchards. It's a really quaint little place. Yeah.
So that's where we get the almond milk.
Yeah. That's all us, man.
Oh.
It's right there in Central California.
Because my nieces and nephews ask me, where does almond milk come from? They don't have udders. I'm like, they come from California. I can answer their question now, which is really good.
Well, now you know they come from Houston,
Houston, no T.
No T, no
cool.
T.
Okay, other question. So are you a Lakers fan or a Warriors fan? Or a Kings fan?
I'm more of a Lakers fan. I love watching LeBron.
LeBron!
Like, he can just facilitate the ball better than anybody, and I love watching that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, respect. That's way cool. So what was the growing up like? Did you always have a big award growing up in California?
Yeah, my family was very intentional about like kind of scouting out the youth in the wards and like making sure that we had people we were supported by and that the church was going to be big wherever we moved.
Yeah. And
I always had just such an amazing youth group. Like everywhere we moved, I had like 5 friends who were members of the church who were just like dogs that I just love being around. It made me think, man, I like going to church. It's the social aspect of church is so huge, and that's why when you're a missionary, they emphasize so much like, hey, make sure that they have a friend in the ward that they're like excited to see every week, and that's missionary work. It's just getting other people excited to go to church.
Yeah, I wonder. Seriously, I love that, man. That's cool. Like when I really appreciated that growing up too. I have some of my best friends, and they're still my best friends to this day. From middle school and high school, like I was just even friends from like EFY and stuff like that. That just stuck around. And you see, like you always hear like you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time.
Yeah,
around.
Exactly.
And it's amazing when you spend time around people with faith. You spend more time with Jesus, and that average goes way up.
Oh yeah,
way up.
People who are spending time with people who are more Christ-like makes you more Christ-like.
Yeah.
It's like you got a car and 5 steering wheels, and all your friends are in the car driving around, and you're all driving the car in a direction. If everyone wants to go towards Christ, it's a whole lot easier.
Holy moly, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. John, by the way, has some good stuff.
I love John. That's one of my guys.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I hope that guy retires soon so I could start doing that.
Gotta fill the void,
Yeah. Oh, dude, shout out John. That's really cool. How many siblings you got?
I got 5 brothers and 1 sister.
Holy
so there's 7 of us. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good time.
Way cool. Where do you fall?
I'm the middle child. I'm the 4th.
Okay.
Which middle child being 4th is always kind of funny to say, especially in Japan where people have like 1, maybe 2 kids. And I love my big family. I have my older 3 siblings are all married, and I have 5 nieces and nephews. And 4 of them were born on my mission, so I just got to meet all of them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like we're an up and coming family.
That's really
cool. It's been awesome to have all my nieces and nephews and get to my family is so central. Like when in the airport, I got off the plane, and from the plane to my family, I was just running. I was so excited to see all of them, and it was a huge support to me for my whole mission. I love that I can talk to them every week, instead of just like that 6 month waiting to talk to your family kind of thing. It was awesome.
Oh man, I literally get emotional thinking about families. Like families are just so amazing. Simply put, what does your family mean to you?
Um, I always like to focus on eternal families and that I can be with them forever. Like it's that support structure. I feel like I can be kind of an odd dude sometimes. So like, and they just get me. And in Japan, I I had like we had these flip books
Hmm.
of Jesus Christ,
Hmm.
and it went through the story and the life of Jesus Christ and a couple of the amazing things that come from the atonement. And one of those was eternal families. And it had a picture of a generic family on it. It was just like some like a random Asian family with 3 kids or something. And I didn't like showing that picture, so I just slapped a picture of my family on there.
Wow.
And I would show people, this is my family, and they'd be like, there are 13 people in that. And I'm like, now, well, like this is my family. It's huge, and I love them so much, and I could be with them for eternity because of what Jesus Christ did for me. And I loved doing that. But every single day in Japan, whenever someone said like, we would always ask, "What's important to you?" And
Hmm.
they'd third of the time they'd say family, which is really awesome, I think. But they'd say family pretty consistently, and I was just flipping open to that page and going, "This is my family, and I love them." Like, what does your family look like? Talking about family for a little bit and telling them that because of Jesus Christ, this is eternal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Way cool.
It was a good
Way
time.
cool. And so you're growing up with 6 siblings?
Yeah.
6 siblings. Are any of your other siblings athletes too, or what was that like? Was it competitive? Were you guys always playing
I
games with
mean,
each other? What was it
everyone
like?
did sports to an extent. My oldest brother was more into like the music, like the performance, like I guess world, and same with my sister a little bit. But the rest of us, we all do sports in some way, shape, or form. Basically, all of us do soccer, and I'm basically the only I'm the only runner in the family, for the most part. I mean,
Cool.
like other siblings have run like half marathons before, but no one that's really gone deep into the running thing.
I like it. So what really sparked the running? Walk me through your story.
In 8th grade, I was living in Paradise at the time, and this was pre-fire.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's funny. Paradise was fun. That's
well, paradise
Well,
is a strong word, you know.
yeah. Holy moly. Oh gosh.
It's
Oh
poetic, you know.
gosh.
Paradise is burning.
Mm-mm.
Um, but I was in paradise, and which is it's always cool to say I was in paradise, and they didn't have like a whole lot of grade school programs because it's just a super small town, and so I would go to the high school for math every day because I was homeschooled my 6th grade year. I was ahead of grade in math, and that homeschool year was awesome, by the way. It was epic. But I would go to the high school, and then my dad was my principal all throughout high school.
Cool.
And he was the principal of the high school then. And so I would go to the high school, and then I'd wait for him to finish up whatever he's doing. And one day I just saw the cross country guys running around, and I'm like, I'm bored enough to try running, you know. So I saw them like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, hey, we're cooling down from our workout. Like, you want to hop in? And so like I just walked with them, or I guess ran with them down to where practice was ending. And the coach was like, hey, we meet here every day after school. If you ever want to like hop in. So then from then on, like I knew running was on my radar, but then the fire did happen, and that put things on hiatus, and I wasn't even thinking about running, like mostly just because I didn't have people to run with, to be completely honest. Like if I had other people that were running that I knew about that I was like really tight with, I would have been running. But there was a hiatus, and then I moved to Central California, and all the youth in the ward were running, and I was already planning on doing cross country. And so I just started cross country. In all 4 years, I did cross country, soccer, and track. And it was, I don't know, I just love doing sports and love the community that builds. I am a super extroverted person. And so people are so important to sports and to pretty much anything I do. It's people just have to be there. And I really love to share whatever I'm learning, or like companionship study was always better than personal study on my mission for me. And So people are just super important. And I was just surrounded by people who liked running and liked me, and it was a good time. I became kind of relevant, I would say, my junior year. And I got 7th for the state of California.
Whoa.
And they combined divisions for track too, so it was like overall 7th my junior year. But my sophomore year, I was like incredibly mid. It was a crazy jump.
How did you make that jump?
Honestly, I think it's just like I was just doing what coaches were saying, and like a huge part of that was just I all my friends quit because of COVID, and so then it became me going, okay, do I really want to do this? And once I made that decision, I was so much more locked in on track because I was choosing to do it for a little more than just the social aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then my senior year, my spiritual performance in life is very much tied to my racing performance.
Really?
Oh, it's huge. Like before my senior track season, I just locked in a lot of like the little habits, like prayer and reading scriptures and just living a more pure lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah.
And that year, I PR'd in the 400 by 3 seconds.
Holy
So those who don't know
moly.
track, that's huge.
That's big time.
That's ridiculous. I went from like 50 to 47.
Dang.
And then, so that got me onto the BYU roster. And then I won the state of California, like the California State Track and Field Championship. I won that, and I very much attribute that to like the spiritual life I was leading at the time. And it's now if I do bad in track, don't judge me too harshly. But my spiritual life is very much tied to my running life.
So you're telling me that the Lord helped you to accomplish your goal when you focus on Him?
Oh yeah,
Huh?
it's huge.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
never heard that before.
Wow. Right. It's surprising.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think that's one of the things that's really twisted. Like we try to separate ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm an athlete Monday through Saturday, but then I'm a disciple of Christ on Sunday.
Yeah.
That doesn't compute. Like, no, I'm an athlete 7 days a week, and I'm a disciple of Christ 7 days a week. I'm one integral person.
Yeah.
And if I put the Lord first, then He can help put me in first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And I think one thing I love about BYU is that it's so good at that. Like, obviously we know about combining faith with learning and in the classroom, but I think a lot less people think about the fact that student athletes are doing the same thing with physicality and faith, where like prayer is so integral to what we do. And I love being around other RMs all the time who are also all very like just spiritual dudes who want to focus on Jesus Christ, and they have all the habits that they're supposed to have a lot of the time, and being surrounded by that like all the time. And even the non-members on the team all have some sort of faith that they rely on as well too.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
So walk me through your story. Like, how have you leaned on the Lord throughout the process?
I think prayer has just been such a superpower, such a tool. It's almost as if when you rely on an all-powerful being, he can kind of let you do a couple things that you wouldn't do yourself. I always relate it to 5 loaves and 2 fish.
Yeah.
Like, you just bring your 5 loaves and 2 fish. You put your heart and soul on the line, and God just makes things happen. Like, for example, I shared in sacrament meeting that the 400-meter story, but when I got my 400-meter PR, that 3-second PR, it was just us and some random other tiny school, and I was like, "Hey, coach, can I PR on the 400 this week? Like, I haven't run a hard 400 all year. Like, just let me go out and like, there's no one else." The next guy had a PR of 54 seconds, and so like I knew it was just gonna be me, but I asked my coach, I'm like, "Hey, I'd love to try to PR," and he moved the meet around a little bit. I was gonna score points in like the mile, which is right before the 400, but I just ran the 400, and I get on the line and I like said a little prayer. I'm like, "Heavenly Father, I really want to run fast today." And it was super hot, and like, that's actually really good for the 400. I didn't know that at the time, but the temperature being super hot helped a lot too. But I get around to 250 meters, And I had felt great all the way leading up to that, but then right around 250, someone throws a flashbang, you get mauled by a bear or something because you just can't see anymore. It's everywhere. And I just throw up a very simple, sincere prayer of like, Heavenly Father, it's go time. Like I want to get through that line. And I and you cross the line and it's a 3-second PR. And it was just huge for me to be able to rely on the Lord like that. And also this California State Championship, that's like my favorite story I think to share.
Yeah.
But it's like not it's like a little less simple, I guess. I'm warming up, I feel like a piece of crap. And I'm like, wow, like I do not feel great. My coach later he told me he straight up lied to me. He's like, oh, you look great on that stride, perfect, He's like, you looked horrible. But like my coach like goes around the corner. He's like, okay, I'll meet you over there. Like, do one more stride. And so I do the stride, and then I walk into this baseball dugout. I'd been doing the pre-race stride outs on a baseball field. And I walk into the dugout, and I like on my knees in the bench. I'm like, Heavenly Father, I want to win this race today. I don't know if that's in the cards. I don't know if that's what your plan is, but I would love to win this race. And I get out there. I'm still feeling like trash, but I get out there, and with 300 meters into this 800-meter race, I take the lead. And post-fact, or looking back, I'm like, dang, that was a really good strategical move. But at the time, I was just like, this seems right. I'll just do whatever, And I think I was just led by the Spirit to take it out. I had a 10 to 15 meter lead with 200 to go, and I started dying. But no one had followed me up to that point, so I already had such a big lead that I ended up winning by like 0.3 seconds.
Wow.
But like one of my favorite things, I feel like kind of everywhere, but that last 100 meters, I'm like looking back every 2 seconds. I'm scared. Then that means you're scared. If you're looking back, that means someone is on you. And so you're looking back because you're just terrified. But I fell over the line, and I always imagined that God was just like, all right, I'm done. Like, I did my part. You don't need to stand. This is good.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it took me about 20 minutes before I could like think a cohesive thought.
Wow.
But
you just put it all out.
it was just all out there. And it was just truly a blessing to be one of God's tools at that moment, because I couldn't have done that by myself. I felt like crap. And I carried that on through college and had another very similar experience. My 800-meter PR, basically the same thing, where I'm just feeling like a piece of crap. I'm like, dang, I'm not going to run fast today. And I just prayed. I said, Heavenly Father, if I run fast today, I'll know it's you. And I know you exist all the more. And then, I go out and run the fastest time in my 800 that I'd ever run before. And I get to advance to regionals and the Big 12 championship. And it's all just, prayer has just been such a tool for me. And that spiritual side is huge in my racing. And I'm really excited to incorporate that more frequently. Because why wouldn't I pray if that makes me run faster, Come on.
Yeah.
It just makes too much sense.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
What have you really how have you kind of developed those holy habits? You talked about it in high school, like you started getting on the spiritual kick, you started reading the scriptures. Was that kind of like a hard thing to start, or?
I mean, it's always less consistent, like when you're starting out, but I have amazing parents. I have an amazing family, like we talked about a little bit ago, and that's like just such a rock for me, that my family is all on the same page. Like I am super blessed to have my entire family is still members of the church, and they're still active, and that's been huge. And just seeing them do scripture study, I'm like, oh, fetch, like I'm supposed to do that too. And it's just been around me my whole life. And so I feel like it's not even like that shocking to me that like, yeah, that happened, because my dad's always like reminding us, my mom's always reminding us, they're always reading with us and the examples in my life have been huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, especially with starting the scriptures, reading the Book of Mormon, like, you get to Nephi and his story is awesome, and then you hit the Isaiah chapters, like, oh no.
I'm in Isaiah right now, and it feels a little more like pushing through a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like it's an aggressive skim.
Yeah.
And so, how did you go about developing that holy habit of reading the scriptures?
I think for that one, it's just like,
Like, what did day to day look like? You get
yeah,
what I'm asking?
the first time I read the Book of Mormon the whole way through, I was paid by my parents.
Haha.
Like, they're like, you get $100 if you finish the whole Book of Mormon this summer, which means 3 chapters a day for the whole summer. And I feel like $100 wouldn't actually get you to do, like 100 hours of reading, because that's $1 an hour, But like I was just like, okay, I'll read the Book of Mormon. And so we had this big old board on the wall, and everyone had their own row of like First Nephi through Moroni, and it was just the whole thing. And we would mark out where we were in the Book of Mormon, and we'd like try to race our siblings and stuff. And we went through the whole Book of Mormon like that. And I read it again before my mission, and it just, again, my examples in my life, just they got me to know that it was important. And even if I was kind of struggling through the Isaiah chapters and kind of just like looking at the page,
What is a
it still
whimper?
got me to
Like,
go
this
through.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Why are their feet tinkling?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, like what is it? I like to always think, like, if Isaiah was alive today, he'd probably be a freestyle rapper. Like, he's just,
Probably. Definitely. What am I saying? Probably for? Definitely.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's right. That's actually
Yeah.
really cool. That's way cool. So you guys just had the chart that everybody was working through.
Yeah, and you could see where we were relative to our siblings, and
Yeah.
being like, you're not reading your script. What are you doing?
That's cool.
It was a good time.
How'd you come to know that it was true?
I've had plenty of experiences that tell me like the gospel is true, but one of my favorite experiences with the Book of Mormon and with the prophet, 2 very similar experiences, I feel like. I remember I went through a Temple Recommend interview, and he asked, like, do you know that Russell M. Nelson is like God's mouthpiece, basically? I forget the exact wording of the question, but I was like, yeah, like, I know, like, because like everything else is true, and I haven't gotten like a spiritual witness of that, but like I trust that Russell M. Nelson is a prophet. And I talked about like wanting that witness. And my bishop at the time, President Bilali, I love President Bilali, but he said, like, you know what? I have here's how you get that witness. I want you to listen to every single President Nelson talk just over and over again, and keep praying about it, and you'll get that answer. And so I went through and listened to all of his talks as a prophet, and I'd listen to all of them over again. And then I went to FSY, and I kind of like loaded the question for the next time I was feeling the Spirit a little bit. And so there was a guy named Brother Mon, and he was just sharing some great story about like helping children in Africa. And he was one of the people that did the cleft lip surgeries, and he was sharing these awesome stories. And I was feeling the Spirit for during that, and I got like half the question out into prayer before the Spirit just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, wow, like Russell M. Nelson is a true prophet of God. And I love that I still have that testimony. And again, with the Book of Mormon, I would read and then pray again, like, Heavenly Father, like, I really want to witness that this is a true book. And a lot of times maybe that doesn't happen for people.
Yeah.
But I remember the next time I was feeling the Spirit, I went to, I think it's the Bonner family.
Like Yahosh, the singers?
Yeah, the singers.
They're amazing.
They're amazing. They were singing and testifying. And I just remember getting the most clear witness that the Book of Mormon was true. And I kind of have those loaded questions are really fun, I think, where if you want a spiritual confirmation of something, it's almost like kind of cornering the Spirit almost, and just being like, I feel the Spirit now. If I think this thought, I'm probably going to feel the Spirit more. And that's been amazing for me to have those loaded questions.
That is a brilliant principle. To ask the Lord a question while you're already feeling the Spirit.
Yeah.
Rather than in a spirit of skepticism.
Exactly.
Well, not just skepticism, rather. Like, not everybody's a skeptic.
Yeah.
But like a spirit of fear, or a spirit of doubt, or a spirit of you might just, maybe you might be even feeling anxious.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Like, ask the Lord the questions that you really care about when you're already feeling the Spirit.
Yeah.
And the Lord can build upon that momentum.
Yeah. And like taking those questions to the temple too.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've loved going to the temple since I've been back from my mission. The Provo City Center temple was closed, and that was tragic because I had to bum rides off people. But I love taking this question to the temple too, and I love that, like, the ordinances. You're not allowed to go to the celestial room without doing an ordinance. Pretty sure, and those ordinances are preparing you to be more in the presence of God in the celestial room. And I think the celestial room is a great place to ask questions.
It really is.
Yeah.
Man, way cool, way cool. Did y'all have a temple in Japan? Were you in Fukuoka or were you serving?
No, I was in the Kobe mission,
Kobe.
and there's
Spelled
one
like
in,
Kobe, right?
yeah, exactly, same bit.
Yeah.
I said Kobe on my mission call when I read it the first time. I was like,
I'm
Kobe,
like,
Japan.
Kobe. Yeah, that's like
It was so sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a temple announced in Osaka, which is the biggest city in my mission. And there's another big one, Kyoto, just up north. But Osaka is the biggest city in my mission, and they have a temple announced. But it's taking my hometown also had a temple announced. It's Modesto, like 30 minutes from me, and that's going to be done in October. Like, they're already doing the open house, but they haven't even like really started construction on the Osaka temple. I'm not even sure if they've actually broken ground. They're tearing down the old university that used to be there. Still, like, it's just taking such a long time. And we prayed for the Osaka temple, like, pretty much every prayer. It was. We were hoping to get that temple up.
Yeah. Way cool, way cool.
Yeah.
Did you always know you were going to go on a mission, or how did you get to that point?
Yeah, those examples. Again, like, my family my 3 older siblings all served missions. And they went to Chile, Mozambique, and Kansas. And it was just so clear to me that I was going to go on a mission. I definitely prayed about whether or not I should go to a year of college first, and I ended up going to a year of college first. And from there, it was just so obvious to me. It was never even really an option that I wouldn't go, especially after receiving a witness that Russell M. Nelson was a prophet, and then Russell M. Nelson saying all worthy young men should be serving a mission. And I counted myself among the worthy young men, so I knew it was what I was supposed to do. And it made it so much easier that I had my little brother at the same time also put in his papers.
Really?
And he's getting back in a little less than a month.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so we left at basically the same time.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was the most amazing support system to have my brother out there at the same time as me. And we would email each other, and we didn't get to call super often because it's like an 8-hour difference, and on missionary schedules, that's always kind of hard. But it was amazing that he was serving at the same time. I have little brothers, so I also want them to serve missions. So of course I went on I want them to see me go on a mission. So if nothing else, I just want to see my little brothers see me serve a mission so that they want to go, kind of thing.
That is way to be. That's cool. Way to be a good example. And so for you, I took a year before my mission too.
Yeah.
What do you think are like the pros and cons? Not pros and cons. Like the benefits of going out straight out. Sorry, the benefits of going straight out and the benefits of taking a year. Like what were the differences for you and your brother?
I think like one of the benefits is obviously like dating, and like nothing. You're not dating with that same eternal perspective, I guess, because like you know you're gonna go on a mission, so like you're not gonna marry any of these people.
Yeah.
And there was some good growth that happened in that year for sure. There was some awesome experiences that led me to be even more excited for my mission. There wasn't a doubt that I would or would not go on a mission. It was always I was going to go after a year, and there was nothing that could have convinced me otherwise. I don't think. And I had some people placed in my path to definitely make sure that happened, for sure. But that year prepared me to a certain extent for my mission, and that was really great. But I still would have had a great mission if I had just gone straight out of high school, I think. But my spot on the team probably would have been much more fragile getting back if I had not gone straight out. So that's another thing that kind of influenced my decision making a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Some college athletes can definitely be worried about that.
Yeah.
How scary was that? What was that? What were your prayers like with that?
I feel like I've never been too scared because I'm not like a super fringe athlete.
What does that mean?
Like, as in, I'm definitely on the team. I went to championship stuff in the past, and I'm currently not too worried about it. It could happen. I could have a flop year and then be off the team kind of thing. But I love Connor Mance is the American record holder in the marathon and the half marathon, and we see him on like a daily basis. It's like the coolest thing in the whole wide world. That like he's just there, and it's not like weird that I see him all the time because he's on the track team with the rest of us. Basically, he has the same coach. And one of the big things he says is being a runner is not even in his top 3 of identities.
What?
Yeah, like it's his favorite form of exercise, is what he says. And I'm like, so you're telling me the American record holder in the marathon and the half marathon, like we has bigger priorities.
That's amazing.
Way bigger priorities. And it's like, I'm a disciple of Christ, a child of the covenant, a child of God. I'm a father, a husband, or he's going to be a father soon. And like running is like, in that list, at best 6th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's way cool. And, it kind of you find another way to put God first. Even in your own divine identity. So when you do fail at running, your divine identity and your divine worth and your divine potential always stays intact.
Yeah. If my 7th identity falls, then big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it would be a big life change if I wasn't on the team anymore. But my mission definitely helped me switch that priority focus. And I think that's going to help me perform a lot better because I won't be stressed before races.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would almost throw up. I actually did throw up before a couple races just because I was like so nervous about, oh no, this big meet. There's like, these guys have been running in college for like 4 or 5 years. And it's just, because it's less of a priority, I'm going to be less stressed before races. And just, I'll more be thinking, okay, I've been working really hard. I've been doing, all these process things. And now I'm just going to get out there and run and see what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
Way cool. So walk me through your mission. What did you do while on the mission? Were you able to run it all, or did you just one of those things? Just Lord, I'm going to hang up the shoes for 2 years. Please help me when I get back. Like what? Was
my trainer is on the BYU track team.
Oh no way!
Yeah, I was with him for 3 transfers.
What?
And the most effective form of there's a thing called Strava.
Strava.
Do you know about Strava? It's
like the health app, right?
It's Instagram for runners. You post all your runs, and they have like a whole bunch of like statistics for you and like guesses on like what your PR should be. What you like, they can give you some training advice too. But Strava for me is mostly just like seeing what my friends are doing with running. And what we did to find people was we would make segments. And a segment is just like you on like this virtual map. There's like you can put however long of a stretch and somewhere that you've run before. And so we would run places that we thought other people were probably running. And we would make this segment. And it gives you a top 10 leaderboard of all the people who have ever run on that segment. And then we'd message the top 10 leaderboard like, hey, do you want to go running with us sometime? And we would just get appointments to meet with people through Strava and invite all of them to church. And we got a decent amount of people to church through that. And people were always really excited to run with us because we're both pretty good at running, and we could like tell them our PRs and like, oh my gosh, you want to run with me? Sure, So we'd find all these people through Strava because our mission president was like, yeah, take the family history computer and get on Strava.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So you tell me God put you with another track star for 3 transfers in Japan.
Yep.
And you use your talents that God has given you to find people to build his kingdom.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
Bruh. What?
It was awesome.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And he was a great trainer. Like, he was super patient with me, gave me a lot of opportunities to use my Japanese, and I love being able to see him, like, at least weekly, because he's in the locker room with us every day. It's sick.
Yeah, it's cool to find the Lord's hand, and even just, like, little and big things like that.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, walk me through the rest of your mission. How hard was it to learn Japanese? Because that's a challenge,
I mean,
too.
Japanese is here. I still don't really tell people I'm fluent. I'm, like, conversational in Japanese. Like, it's insane. Like, and I think other Japanese missionaries will tell you the same thing unless they're lying to you. There are certain Japanese missionaries I trust to, like, actually say that they're fluent. There were some people on my mission, I'm like, how or what? Like, they were just insane. But Japanese, like, I still can't go to, like, the hospital and, like, without, like, a dictionary. Like, okay, what was that? Okay, concussion? How am I supposed to know that, Or, like, stuff like that. Yeah. Or, like, I had a lot of really good companions, too. Like, there are those companions that I'm just like, I need to be friends with you for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
because
I know what that. Me too.
there are those guys. And then you have some of those companions who are just a little more difficult. Of course, you know, it's just because, and not even really because they didn't want to work or anything like that, just because like you just want to do missionary work differently.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, 100%. It was one of those things that like I read in the scriptures. I think it was okay. Yeah, it's 1 John 3, and it's actually kind of cool. So if you start in verse 13, marvel not, my brethren, that if the world hate you, we know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whoso hateth his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him. Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brethren. Man, that puts a whole different level on companionship and friendship and brotherhood, man. I'm just like, holy moly. Like, even if this is difficult, I gotta learn to love people a little bit more.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
a lot bit more. Because if I don't, shoot, I'm abiding in death. Like, you know, it's crazy. It's
Abiding in death
John.
is not a great place to abide.
No, it's not. It's really not. Like, it's not abide with me 'tis even death. You know, it's no. Like, it's not.
No.
That's not the hymn. That's not the hymn. And so, you know, how have you seen the Lord grow your heart in that way? Like, even with the tough companions or tough teammates at times too, or, you know,
Yeah.
siblings can be challenging too. Like, you know.
I feel like as you go throughout your mission, I heard this before my mission, and I wasn't sure how much I believed him, because I thought I was already like a really patient dude who just got along with most people, and then you have that first rough companion, and you're like, ooh, hold on,
Brother,
what I didn't know I didn't get along with people.
I was like, bro, why you breathe like that?
Exactly.
Yes, it's just
stuff like that. You just get annoyed
it's
at the
just like, bro,
littlest things.
like, is it? That's how you chew for real? Like who taught you how to chew like that? Like, I'm just
And
like,
it gets down to the dumbest stuff.
I know. It's just like, let me just turn up this Mormon Tabernacle choir real quick, just really loud so I can't hear you chew.
It's the littlest things start to set you off.
Yeah.
But I think as I went through my mission, as I just read my scriptures every day, praying all the freaking time, trying to spread, like testifying all the time, you just start to get a little more patient with people. You get better at like knowing what you can and can't do to help people and deal with people and get along. And when it comes to the people of Japan, it was people in Japan are very much like we all want to be the same centric. And so Christianity was kind of on the outs. That was a different, that set you apart.
Because the main
being
faith
set apart
is Buddhist, right?
Yeah, people.
And then
Yeah.
also the patriotic faith. Well, it's not necessarily a faith, right? It's rather what's it called? Remind me.
Like a culture, I guess.
Yeah, the culture.
I think
what's it called?
Buddhism and Shintoism.
Shinto. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Like those
'Cause
are
you
like
could
the
be
two big ones.
You could be Buddhist and Shinto at the same time.
Yeah, because it's the beliefs aren't super deep, and it doesn't really govern their lives the same way Christianity does. For like, you can find devout Buddhist people who it governs their lives, but it's kind of like the same way that people say, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I go to church on Christmas and Easter." You know, it's like,
Yeah, it's like I've always thought that was funny because, like, imagine it's like, oh yeah, I work out, but I go to the gym twice a year.
Exactly. No, you don't work out actually.
What? No. You just paying a subscription.
Yeah, there were more of those type of Buddhists than anything else, and most people would have told you that Buddhism was a culture rather than a religion. Like, we actually asked people, do you think Buddhism is a culture or religion? And more times than not by a ton, but more times than not, people would say that Buddhism is a culture. And then we'd say like, oh, do you want to talk about religion? They'd say, oh, I'm Buddhist. And I'm like, but you just said it's not a religion. You know, It was kind of funny like that.
Yeah.
And obviously I even got like a little frustrated right there kind of thing, but getting better at not complaining about that on the street. There's a lot of times where people give you excuses, like, and you know it's an excuse because they say, hey, I'm going to the train station right now, and they're walking away from the train station. You're like, I don't think that's where you're going, actually.
Yeah.
And you can talk with your companion, you can complain about it, and you can say like, can you believe what they just said? Or you can just kind of chuckle it off and keep going. And when you keep complaining like that, like, I think Elder Holland had the quote where he's like, no problem is so bad that complaining won't make it worse. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's always just gonna make you so much more depressed, and it's just a bad place to be.
Somebody called it wambulance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's kind kind of funny. I heard from the Spirit taught me something kind of cool. Like this boys make excuses, men make adjustments.
Yeah, that's huge.
And it's like, dang, like how can we go about making more adjustments rather than
Yeah.
just excuses?
And that's repentance right there.
Yeah.
Those are the adjustments that you need to make. And dang, that's awesome. Like that's definitely a gospel principle right there, where you're trying to change. You're trying to be a different person and not say that you're an agent to act, not an agent to be acted upon.
Mm-hmm. Object to be acted upon. If that.
Yeah. You know,
Big
it's I can choose how to react to this circumstance. It's not, oh, like I make excuses. That's awesome. That's a great principle.
Big time.
Yeah.
And so what was teaching repentance like to the people of Japan?
I think like a difficult part of that was you had to convince them that they weren't perfect first. Like people didn't believe like they were perfect, but if you ask someone like, hey, do you like sin? They would have been like, no, like I don't sin. Like what? Like I'm not a bad person. Kind of thing. And in that sometimes it kind of felt like a little sales meeting, like I'm creating a problem and I'm giving you a solution, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm creating a problem you didn't know you had. And so that was kind of difficult sometimes, but the big thing was just having the Spirit, and if someone's receptive to the Spirit, they're going to hear it. And they're going to want to hear what you have to say. And that was huge for me to learn that if someone on the street is talking to you and they're not really all that interested, they're only talking to you because I look different, like I'm blonde and 6'3", and they're like, everyone has black hair and is like 5'8", and because I look so different, if that's the only reason I think they're talking to me, it's time to like be like, okay, see ya, and leave. Like the biggest finding method was just going to a train station, and it's just like super crowded all the time. There's people just walking every way, and we just stop people. We're like, hey, can we have a little bit of your time? Like we're sharing a message about whatever, and then just kind of like hopefully by the Spirit to the best of our ability, and just per person change it to be just for them. Hopefully, obviously, a lot of times you get trapped in those doing the same thing over and over again kind of bits, but trying to adjust by the Spirit and getting people to listen to the Spirit was huge.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
big time. Last thing about you mentioned, what did you appreciate about serving in Japan the most, and the people and the culture and just like the light? What was the most beautiful thing?
I think I whenever that question, like what was your favorite thing about your mission, or that kind of question, what did I learn, was a big thing. My image of Japan is just like, I always think of Joseph Smith in the Sacred Grove. Like Kevin G. Brown had that talk, I think it was 2 years ago.
Spit and fire.
Oh my gosh, amazing talk.
It's just one of those wake up, sit up,
yeah,
put down the cinnamon roll,
it's time
listen.
to put your notes aside real quick and just focus, But he said Fore Grove, Mandeville, Jamaica was his sacred grove, and I think the same about Japan, about Kobe, and it's just awesome for me to be able to that's the place where I came so much closer to Jesus Christ, and I was able to help a couple others do the same, and so many life lessons learned. There was a couple transfers, like my last couple transfers, that every time I feel like I clicked on something kind of big, I was like, I wrote it down, and reviewing that list is just, I'm like, how is a 20-year-old learning this? Like what group of 20-year-olds is going out and like learning how to be a productive member of society in this way? Wow. It's just, it's such a rare thing. And I love the church for that.
No, I love that you wrote it down. I love that you were able to see the beauty of Japan. And it's kind of fascinating. You can't reflect on revelation that you don't remember.
Yeah.
So writing it down is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
You still journal a bunch or what?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely journal my spiritual experiences for sure. I journaled every day on the mission, and just like said what I was doing and the spiritual experiences.
Yeah.
And right now I'm not really like, I don't even have like a physical journal. I need to buy one. But I definitely have a note on my phone. And again, John, by the way, with the Follow Him podcast, has like a feel journal. It's like feelings, impressions, basically just a spiritual journal. I don't remember what the whole like feel acronym was, but it's just I write down spiritual thought or spiritual related thing that I kind of feel, or and I'm growing the list. It's been fun.
Yeah. So what does gratitude look like in your life now? Because I feel like that's one of the things that we could all work on a little bit.
Yeah, for me, I like to say my night prayer is more gratitude based and my morning prayer is more needs based. And my morning prayer is like, Heavenly Father, this is what I want to accomplish today. Like, this is how I want to grow today. Give me these opportunities to grow. And like, I say things I'm grateful for too. And then my night prayer, I try to more exclusively focus on, Heavenly Father, thanks for helping me accomplish this thing. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. And then like, in kind of flipping the script a little bit where it's like, and then please bless me with this. Like, so gratitude has become more of a nightly thing that I do, that I'm trying to be a better human being. Like in the morning, I'm focusing on how I need to improve, and God can help me with that. And at night, thanks for helping me do that. And that's from Elder Bednar in 2000. Both of his 2008 conference talks are both about prayer, and they kind of switched my whole perspective about prayer, where you're praying as a report, and like that's what he talks about. Just in the morning, it's more like, this is what I want to accomplish. At night, thank you for helping me accomplish that kind of thing. And just remembering God and walking with him the whole day, not just intersecting paths with him throughout. And trying to do that anyway.
Yeah. So prayer kind of helps you to have God with you throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. And it helps me to have that gratitude that I need. Because I have all sorts of things as a student athlete that are just awesome. Like, there are so many free meals I get. I get priority registration for classes. I get a free rock pass. Like, stuff like that I get on a daily basis that I just kind of forget about. And that I'm being helped a lot. There's a village behind me all the time. And just taking time to recognize that village. Because without gratitude, you become incredibly egotistic. And I already have that problem. I don't need that more, you know?
Yeah, no, me too. I'm right there with you. I never thought about it like that. Like, gratitude helps you avoid pride because you recognize where your real strength comes from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Way cool. I love how you kind of flipped this, Elder Bednar flipped the script with prayer for you. Let's flip the script from mission to life now as an athlete, and just kind of your experience like that with the nutrition, the exercise, the routine, the process, the grind, goal setting, and stuff like that. So let's start with nutrition. And then we'll kind of walk from like nutrition, what you eat, sleep, how everything like that, into coaching, support, all that jazz. So what's eating like as an athlete? What is your relationship with taking care of your body?
Yeah, I feel like pre-mission, I wasn't quite as intentional as I wanted to be. And I had my whole mission to reflect on like, what do I need to do to be a better athlete post-mission? And nutrition was one of those huge things. And of course, sleep as well. Like I'm a bit of an extrovert, as I said, like a huge extrovert. Yeah. So going to bed and like avoiding those social interactions past like 10 o'clock is really hard for me. But getting to bed anyway and just being like, no, you know what, this is where I need to be. And trying to be more consistent with that. But nutrition, I met with the nutritionalist actually. Like we have a nutritionalist for the track team. And she told me some things I need to focus on. Like what my goal is right now is 4 meals a day, and each of those meals have 30 to 40 grams of protein and 130 grams of carbs. Which it's kind of funny to tell people I have a high carb diet, but that's what you need to like fuel yourself as an athlete a lot of the time. But the whole world is very much low carbs, like carb phobic. Yeah. And of course, if you're not like running 40 miles a week, carbs are not for you. They're probably not the healthiest option. But as an athlete, as someone who's like, you know, putting my body through the ringer on a consistent basis, I need a lot of carbs to replenish that. And so being intentional with carbs and protein is really just the biggest thing. Making sure I'm hitting those goals of 4 times a day, 30 grams, 130 grams of carbs. And that's the biggest thing. It honestly doesn't matter too much what I eat. I want to get my greens. I want to get honestly, greens is the only thing outside of protein and carbs that I'm really focusing on. Like, it's just that's it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. You know, what would you say to a high school athlete that may be struggling with a relationship with food? Because eating disorders, I feel like, is a really hidden battle. For guy athletes, it might just be like, all right, like not feeling like I'm not eating enough or eating too much, like binging. But for girl athletes, it might be
that's huge.
Feeling like they don't deserve to eat or they don't want body image issues and stuff like that, what counsel would you give?
I've been extraordinarily blessed to just my parents just put food in front of me in high school, and I know that's not like always what happens in high school for everybody. Like I am incredibly blessed to have that in my life, and I just went through high school just eating whatever was in front of me and kind of just avoiding sugar a little bit. But I definitely think like being intentional is huge, and man, this is rough. I just have never struggled with that in my whole life, and I've been so blessed because of that. But I think just making sure you're getting your protein, your carbs, like for athletes. And if you're working really hard, it shouldn't matter too much what you're eating. But I am no professional in that field, and I would talk with your coach, hopefully, and like talk with someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seek some help, seek some expert help.
Yeah, like expert. Yeah, it's kind of funny that people will go to a doctor for some sort of physical need, like if they have like a broken leg, they go to a doctor. But if like they're struggling with like mental or like some sort of anxiety or like nutritional health, like they'll never see anybody. And it's like you got just go see somebody. It's not embarrassing to see a therapist, you know.
Yeah, no, for real. Some dudes, I feel like it's like if you go see a shrink, your testosterone is gonna shrink too. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
no.
Go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody
Yeah.
big time too. What about like mental health when it comes to an athlete? Because
Yeah.
failure is something that's consistent.
Yeah.
It's competitive. It's really hard. How has the Lord helped you with your mental health as an athlete and
Yeah.
student?
That's a big struggle at the end of the season where my whole high school career I did soccer in the winter, and that kind of reset my yearning to run track. But so my season was like March to May. It's like 3 months, you know. But my season in college was December to June, which is a significantly longer span, and I'm all of a sudden just expected to run for a longer season. And so that was a struggle for me in my first year, being back. But one thing I've heard recently, and I'm really excited to get more into, is focusing on the process rather than the outcomes. Like, I want to win an NCAA title. Like, that would be awesome. That'd be great. But I don't want to think about that every single day, all the time. I want to think about, okay, what do I need to do to get there? Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to eat today? What's my workouts today? What am I going to do to recover between those workouts? How much sleep am I trying to get every day?
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things, when you focus on those, make the NCAA championship significantly less stressful. And when you focus on those and you make them fun, you can go for as long as you want. As long as you're making it fun and you're not making it this stressful thing, you can do a season for forever. But the more stress you surround your sport with, the harder it's going to be to have a longer season.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to be a big focus for me in this coming track season.
Way cool.
Yeah.
Way cool. So how do you keep your spiritual legs running when your physical legs are tired?
Just creating that muscle memory of when I'm tired, just reaching out to God. And my mission helps with that a ton, of course, because there's all the time when you're walking just all day and you're just like, God, I'm kind of done. But Elder Holland has that, I think I know diligence is in there, but I think it's act in all diligence, that general conference talk, where he's like, when my body begs for rest, I give myself this rallying cry, remember him. And just trying to remember pre-race too, because it's really hard to remember in the race when that flashbang is thrown, that I want to reach out to my Heavenly Father, and I know He can help me. He's an all-powerful being. Why would I not reach out to Him? And focusing on that pre-race allows you to do that in the race as well.